Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is a mild winter day hammock overnighter right on the edge of a somewhat frozen yet thawing lake. So we're out here in this windswept forest. There are loads of downfall trees, which is perfect because I did not bring an axe, I did not bring a saw, I did bring a twig stove, and I do plan on having an open campfire, which is the reason why I have the tarp pitched in this configuration for now. There is a light breeze coming through. It's supposed to get down to maybe -2, -4 degrees Celsius tonight. I am on the edge of a lake, so there will be breeze pushing through here. However, I have a system rated for -40 degrees Celsius with this hammock, so I'm definitely not going to be cold, but I do want to have a campfire and probably leave the tarp in a somewhat open configuration like you guys see right here for the duration of the trip. I may drop this wall down, but I'm basically not going to batten up the hatches, I don't think. I think maybe dropping the wings down, bringing the tarp down a little bit, just for some wind protection. So with camp set up, which is really simple, the hammock and the tarp totally done within about 15 minutes, it's now time to collect some twigs, get some water on a boil, and make up a hot coffee. All right, everybody, I've got a hot cup of coffee on the go right now. I decided to come up this little bit of a hill looking downwards on towards the hammock. A lot of the smoke from the fire is coming up here, and I actually have a really decent view out across this lake through these trees, which is pretty awesome. So what I'm sitting on right now is actually remnants of Hurricane Fiona, which pushed through here many months ago. And I was actually out hammock camping during that storm right on the edge of an ocean cliff. So I got the full brunt of that. Link down in the video description if you guys are interested in watching that video. So this right here is much farther inland from the coast. We're probably about 40 minutes away from the coast. And all of these trees here have just been flattened from all that wind, which makes an excellent spot for firewood. Interesting hangs for hammocks through all these fallen trees, but it also makes for a nice little coffee purchase, just like this one, to kind of perch yourself up, chill out, relax for a little bit, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit back, enjoy this beautiful hot coffee on this nice, kind of springtime feeling day. It doesn't even feel like winter, and it's only the middle of March right now. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Enjoy this beautiful view right here, this gray, moody day with this nice frozen lake. I've got the fire flickering in the background, the smoke kind of lofting its way up here, which is pretty awesome. So cheers, everybody. Hot coffee time. Alright guys, with coffee all finished up, I definitely feel a lot better, more relaxed at camp once I have a hot drink. We've got the fire going right now, and with the absence of both the axe and the saw, which I already planned on not bringing because I just didn't feel like it was needed, I'm actually kind of going with that feeling of I'm not sure if I'm going to need a fire tonight. It is actually warm out. I'm only wearing a long sleeve thin wool shirt, and I have another thin long sleeve shirt underneath, and I'm almost breaking out into sweat just walking around here. Now my feet are totally soaking wet right now because this snow and ice and slush is really just nasty stuff to be walking in. So I am going to keep the small fire burning and just basically utilizing all of these little twigs and branches. It just takes seconds to process, to break up, and I have an abundance of firewood ready to go. So I think I'm going to pass on the large campfire just because it's not needed, and that'll give me a little bit more time to just relax and enjoy the scenery out here at this lake, enjoy the hammock hang, and just take it all in, because winter is going to be coming to an end sooner than later, and I really do want to enjoy it and just kind of take it all in before it's gone. So I think I'm going to be happy with that decision, just processing the small wood, loading it in the little burn pan, using the gilly kettle for boiling and cooking, which is what I'm going to be starting very soon, as it is quickly approaching evening time. So a couple things that I have to do this evening is I do need to dry out my shoes. So I'm going to be propping them right next to the wood stove, just kind of basically sitting on the ground with my feet open. I don't want to bring the stove in because it'll burn my tarp and my hammock. So I'm just going to keep it outside of the tarp for a while, but I do need to dry out my shoes. I have a full change of pants and socks, so I'm not worried about that. But shoes are a priority just because it may freeze tonight. I do have 2 downfill top quilts. So what I'll likely be doing is putting my shoes inside of one of the top quilts to help mitigate the issue with freezing. So that's where we're at so far. Evening's approaching, like I just said, so I'm going to start getting ready for supper, get some of that stuff squared away, and have a hot meal and just enjoy this. So there's a nice cool breeze coming off that lake right now, and it is absolutely refreshing. So let's carry on with the day, guys. All right, guys, supper is ready. This is definitely a good, simple dish to make. Palak paneer with rice. I put in some white onion, some yellow pepper, mushroom, and Bombay mix. That's basically it. I have a couple of naan breads, and I gotta say, incredible. Super easy to cook, really fast and simple. Loads of flavor. So I'm gonna chill out right here in the hammock just for a moment and enjoy this. I've got the stove soaked up, so that's gonna start kicking out some flames in just a moment, just in case I need to reheat my meal, because there is a lot of food in this pot. So I'm gonna kick back, enjoy supper, and then basically clean everything up and get ready for nightfall. Alright guys, I've got everything just about tidied up around camp, and it's actually starting to really fine mist with rain. It's fine mist, but it is steady. It's really hard to pick up on the camera in here in the forest, but across the lake it is just coming down like a sheet of mist. So, getting this fire stoked up, securing a little bit more twigs, bringing them underneath of the tarp is going to be a little bit of a priority in just a couple of moments. That way in the morning I'll have dry twigs to make hot coffee and a little bit of breakfast, some oatmeal and simple things like that. So I'm going to tidy this up. I did not bring a rain jacket, so that's kind of a bummer, but you know what? It's part of the fun sometimes. So I may leave this tarp exactly the way it is right now, I'm thinking. I'm going to close the wings definitely once the fire's done with, just to stop any oncoming drifts of mist and rain. But I think I'm going to leave it wide open, because if it does pour with rain, I want this beautiful view looking into this upward hill and all the fallen trees and the spruce and the pine, and the look out at the basically the back side of the lake here. So I'll have that view and be able to sit back and enjoy it in the rain. And then in the morning time, if it is raining, I don't have to get up and set up the tarp. All I got to do is kick my feet out, come over here and start cooking. So let's get warmed up first and then continue on tidying. All right, guys, it is now total darkness out, and that mist has turned into rain. So as you guys can hear, the tarp is definitely taking on some water, and we are totally nice and dry here inside of the hammock. We sat up with the fire for a little bit, but that rain has been pushing in and we're almost out of wood. So I figure whatever I have left collected down here on the ground, I'm gonna save for the morning and basically just call it a night. So listen to this. That's gonna be an awesome sound to sleep to. So now that the fire is out, I can drop these two wings on the tarp, which is gonna really benefit from this end at the foot end. It is pushing in. It's not really soaking the ground, but I don't want it touching the underquilt and then softening that. So I wanna get that wing pinned down, this wing pinned down, work in the dark here for a couple seconds, and then jump inside the hammock. I'll see you guys inside. All right, so we've got the tarp reconfigured. I did end up closing this one wing just close to me because there was a better stick in the ground, a root. Believe it or not, the ground is still frozen, so driving pegs and even sharpened sticks in the ground right now isn't really doing it, and I got a feeling it's going to soften up overnight anyways. So whatever I put in there with tight guy lines, it's probably just going to let go anyways. So there was available stick on the other side, an available root that I tied that into. That's why the angle is so steep. The door behind it is wide open. Down it towards the foot end, both wings are kind of open as they were during the day. And I dropped one line from up in a tree down to the ground. So now we got a good slope. All the water is gonna run off the tarp and we won't have any pooling. So Boomer has already beat me into bed. He's ready to go. Inside here, I do have the stuff sack to the hammock with all of my necessities that I need. I've got my slippers, my downfill pants, my socks, headlamp, flashlight, a couple other things here and there, snacks. Everything that I need is in there. As stated before, this hammock is rated for negative 40 degrees Celsius, and I have two downfill top quilts, plus downfill pants, plus my big wool knitted sweater that I'm sitting on. I'm gonna use that as a pillow. Basically take my North Face jacket here, drape this over the ridgeline inside to get it lofted with some air. That way it can dry out overnight because it is synthetic. So this will be nice and dry, and we'll see what the morning brings. Who knows? It might be pouring with rain, it might dry up, it might be misty, which is almost worse than the rain because right now the mist is blowing through here and it'll get everything wet on the inside. The rain falls down, but the mist kind of comes up. So we'll see what happens, but I do know one thing, there will be hot coffee in the morning. So I'm gonna say goodnight to you guys. I'm gonna get fully changed, get all my stuff put away, jump in here and call it a night. Catch you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful, wet, moody, cloudy, kind of crisp and cold but a little warm style of a morning today. So this is definitely my vibe. I'm from Vancouver Island, born and raised, now on the East Coast, and this right here totally, absolutely reminds me of home back on the West Coast. We got a little bit of a breeze kicking up. Now that I pulled the tarp back, of course the trees are going to start swaying, dripping all the water down on me. But you know what? That's just part of the fun. So talking about water, it rained all night last night. It just stopped about 30 minutes ago. Still kind of spitting with rain every now and then. The trees are still dripping all through the forest, which is pretty awesome. So last night was just an orchestra of raindrops on the tarp. A couple branches snapping and popping here and there from the wind, nothing too major. Nice little rock back and forth, kind of rocking me into sleep, was also pretty awesome. So this morning, up early, hot coffee on the go. I've already let the stove burn out, and breakfast has already been done in the hammock. I had a Cliff Bar, so nothing fantastic. I was going to do oatmeal, but I'm just not feeling it today. So hot coffee is basically it for cooked goods. Boomer has already had his food. He's running around now, chewing on some sticks and just kind of exploring. And I think this morning is going to be pretty basic. I think what I'm going to do is just finish up my coffee and then pick away at the pack up process. The hammock's super easy to pack up. It's all goosed down. So I'm not even going to put it in the stuff sack. I'm just going to cram it inside my backpack, followed by the tarp and then some of the cooking gear, and that's basically it. That's the beauty of bringing next to no gear when you come camping. It's super easy and super fast to pack up. So I just wanted to say good morning, everybody. Cheers. Let's enjoy this hot coffee and then start packing up. All right, everybody, we have everything totally packed up in the backpack, and that honestly took 5 to 6 minutes flat to unpack the hammock of some contents, get the tarp down out of the tree, jam everything in the backpack, and super fast and simple. The last item was the cook gear up top. Very happy with that, by the way. At first I thought that cook system was just going to be reserved for overland trips and truck camping. it's actually proven to be quite a formidable method of camping, hiking, and cooking if you're packing lightweight and simple stuff. It has its benefits, and I might get into that in a different video, but for today, hammock camping out here in the rain, beautiful time, awesome. So my jacket is just about dry, and honestly, I don't even need it. I feel like I could be in shorts right now hiking this trail out of here. It's calling for negative temperatures. I don't think that's gonna happen. It is warm right now. So I'm gonna throw this backpack on my back and basically strap the jacket to the outside and start hiking out of here. Just wanted to say peace out, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode. See you later, guys.